Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a real crazy video. We're going to be breaking down all the drama between content creators and professional players. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's been some crazy stuff happening on Twitter between HighDistortion, CypherPK, Myth, and some so-called professional players. And just to clear this up real quick, the reason I say so-called professional players is because they are not signed to professional teams. They are free agents. And during this video, pro player is going to get thrown around a lot, but I do consider them more competitive players rather than pro players. But basically, this got extremely heated, guys. HighDistortion was on Twitter pretty much flaming and going off on these guys. Then near the end of it, Myth came in and tried to solve the entire situation. I do think he has a real level head, and he did make good sense of all of it. Real quick though, guys, if I am informing you about this topic for the first time, do me a favor and go ahead and drop a like on this video. Every like really helps my channel. And also, if you want to stay updated on topics like this, don't forget to subscribe with post notifications on. Now let's jump into it. And first, before we go over the drama, we have to understand how the format for the Gauntlet Finals works, because that's where all of this took place. So basically, all of these players have been competing in the Gauntlet over the past week or so. It's kind of the first ranking system we've ever seen in Fortnite, and it's been really awesome. But it has gotten real serious now because we are in the Gauntlet Finals, and we have some of the best players in the entire world competing against each other, and everybody is trying very hard. At least for most of the competitive players who are still free agents, they are trying extremely hard because this is a good chance to prove themselves against good competition. And of course, as a free agent, your number one goal is to get signed. So now that we understand this, we can go ahead and jump into the drama and how it all started. A player that goes by the alias of Fox was competing with his duo partner who goes by Lyricin. These two guys are in the Gauntlet Finals, and they ran into HD and CypherPK one game. And both of these teams definitely had an interesting fight during this game. It lasted a very long time, but at the end of the day, HD and CypherPK did come out on top, and Fox was not happy about it. He took to Twitter and he made this tweet: "I love content creators. Oh, by the way, they used 6 dynamite, 3 stinks, and their launch pad that they could have used to disengage in this fight." And then he also linked a video. Let's go ahead and roll that so you guys can see exactly what happened in this fight.
No. But there's a lot of these games where they're just in the storm.
Oh, he doesn't want to fight. I can stink him. His teammate's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it.
What the f— No, 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 no! No, I missed the pump shot! I missed it. Easy pump shot.
So yeah, it's an interesting fight, and I can see how Fox might be a little bit upset with how HD and CypherPK decided to push them. And I also like the fact that Fox didn't actually tag HD or CypherPK. It does show that he wasn't out there just trying to start drama or get clout. I think more so he was just trying to show his frustration with what happened today in the Gauntlet Finals, rather than trying to start this crazy drama, which it did turn into. But unfortunately, I think the use of content creator really upset HD. And this did spark a response from him on Twitter. He said this: "Yo, just some content creators bodying pros today in the Gauntlet Final. GG's to CypherPK, we slayed." And then he also linked his own clip. Let's take a look at that one.
They got me, dude. They got me. I should have left a long time ago. I wasn't expecting the rocket. You got them both?
Yeah.
Thank God, dude. Good stuff, man.
They just got
I have a
destroyed.
chug jug.
Destroyed, dude.
Good,
Oh
good, good.
my god. Dude, they had a chug jug.
Yeah, they used like 5 clingers.
And along with this, HD also made a bunch of other tweets calling out Fox. Those tweets were eventually deleted, but fortunately for us, Fox did screenshot them all and he posted them in this tweet. He said, "Although he blocked me and my duo and deleted the tweets, let's not forget this happened. Quite the level of professionalism being displayed." And then some of those deleted tweets say this: "Homie, what's good? You got an effing problem with me?" Then Fox responded and said, "No, but I do dislike players who take fights that ruin both parties' games. It's pretty frustrating, I'd assume you could understand." Then HighDistortion says, "Nah man, just doing me, you seem to be on my nuts for some reason." Fox responds, "Not gonna bother constantly replying, my DMs are open." And then after HighDistortion saw that Fox posted deleted tweets and stuff, he pretty much went off on Twitter. He said all of this: "Got you with the retweet, homie, for your clout." And HighDistortion did end up retweeting that last tweet we covered of Fox's where he showed the deleted DMs. "People think I'm a 16-year-old punk or some family-friendly content creator. I'm always ready for smoke. People like my bald head, so no insecurities there. Unlike terrible acne and bad breath you walk through life with." His boys at me all last night and I go to his page and he got clips and comments about me and Cypher. I ask what's good and now he's a victim. LMAO LOL. Fortnite pros really don't want content creators placing better than them. LMAO. I guess it does suck scrimming 12 hours a day and not placing higher than people who do 0 scrims. So yeah, HighDistortion definitely went in there and he got really mad at Fox and the people who were defending Fox. Anyways, this is where Myth jumped in and he defended HD and Cypher PK for the most part. He said this on Twitter: "Bruh, if you complain about somebody ruining your game and then provide no footage of them doing so, then you are barking up an invisible tree. And it makes me think y'all got clapped and they lived." Then he actually did see the footage because Fox did link it and he said, "Sorry, here's the footage. It's an aggressive play by Cypher and HD, but they definitely could have closed out the fight quicker, and if they would have, it would have made it worth. Zone is super close, and geysers make that rotation super possible. They bopped Fox to no HP super early, and if they knocked him by applying appropriate pressure, this fight would have been over and it would have been completely worth it. Saying that this type of push would ruin both teams is just not true." And I think that HD and Cypher's perspective, they thought that Fox was solo initially, which is why they went so hard at him as they did. I also don't think that under that mindset, they shouldn't not be aggressive. There's a lot to learn from this engagement on both ends. Cypher and HD, they hit their opponent for white, but then Cypher builds height on a low health turtling opponent that they could have applied pressure on and secured. Fox and Lissern glides down to his turtle teammate to accomplish nothing when he could have landed on the hill right behind him for a better angle and a possible high ground take opportunity. Learn from moments like this because at the end of the day, this stuff ain't just gonna happen once. Then HD responded to all the stuff that Myth said. He said this: "Bro, you also don't have time to play all 10 games to the end game in that format. We chose some games and we said we're gonna push like crazy." Myth said, "Facts, and that's something teams need to be aware of. It's part of the way this event was set up," and I completely agree with both of them. In this regard, HighDistortion is absolutely right along with Myth. And at the end of the day, Fox shouldn't be so upset that he did end up losing to a team who played extremely aggressive on him. It's the same situation as Zexro. Any team, any player can play however they wish in any of these tournaments. There's no rules or guideline on how you're supposed to play. Just because certain games go certain ways in scrims doesn't mean they're going to be like that in matches. While I respect the fact that Fox didn't tag HD or Cypher PK like Zexro did in his situation, he still did initiate it. He made the first tweet and he called them content creators, and understandably that did leave a bad taste in HighDistortion's mouth. And while HighDistortion might have gone a little excessive with some of the things he said, I do believe a little bit of it was warranted. At the end of the day though, this did get blown way out of proportion, so I did reach out to Fox and I wanted to ask him after it was all over, what's his final thoughts and what does he want people to know about this situation? And he said this: "Everything blew out of proportion. Mainly people were in my mentions calling me a clout farmer when I never added anyone. I did, however, quote one of HD's tweets. I got no hard feelings towards Cypher PK or HD. I just made the post out of frustration. This is something I put 8+ hours in a day, and when you have 10 games to maximize the amount of points you can get, it gets frustrating dying with 0 points because someone drags out a fight in the storm that could have been prevented and benefited neither team. I never intended to be the center of attention or even try to get followers off of those guys. guys, I was just making a post showing my reason for frustration and a bad experience on Twitter. Maybe my post of screenshotting HD's deleted tweets was out of pocket and made things bigger than they had to be. It just felt like when he has an audience as big as his with 500k nearly on Twitter, you shouldn't be responding to people's tweets saying they are on your nuts. I responded calmly and straight up how I felt. At the end of the day, there is going to be people who agree with me and understand how I feel, and there will be people who don't, and I can understand that. Honestly, just wished he would have DM'd me and we could have talked it out and I could have made him put his feet in my shoes. But then it just went on and got bigger and bigger, and he retweeted my tweet and said, "Here, the clout I wanted, which I never asked for." People saying that it's just practice or that's a playstyle, I understand, but competitive on this game is something I am passionate about and aspire to make money off of. I take every opportunity I can to get better, and we won't have another pop-up or something like this where I can get good practice for a while. So when I feel like my experience went to crap, I'm going to talk about it. And that was pretty much it between Fox and HD. As for their teammates, Listerin and CypherPK, they honestly weren't really involved in this situation that much. They didn't go on Twitter and make many posts like the other guys. But CypherPK did have a conversation with one guy on Twitter, and he was basically saying when you have only 3 hours to complete 10 games, it's really hard to play them all to the end game. And I think that's the main thing about this whole entire situation, is that there's just so little time, and that kind of forces some players to play aggressive at certain times because they don't know if they will be able to finish within 3 hours. And I think maybe for future events where these players can get good practice in, Epic Games should give them at least 4 to 5 hours to complete these 10 games. But yeah, that's pretty much all CypherPK had to say about this. Listerin really wasn't involved at all. So yeah, my full opinion on it is basically that it's a weird situation. Fox probably should not have called them out by saying they were content creators. Not adding them definitely was a smart move, but it's still somewhat a sub tweet. And of course that caused HD to respond. But hey, what are you gonna do? I like Myth's response. You live and learn, and you have to move on from this and understand that things like this will happen, especially in competitive Fortnite. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and also, most importantly, leave a comment and let me know what you think about it. Is HD in the right? Is Fox wrong? Do you kind of agree with me and think it's just a weird situation where both of them are neither wrong or right? Let me know down in the comments, and yeah, drop a like on the video if you enjoy my content and you want to help me spread this around YouTube so I can grow. And lastly, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and turn post notifications on if you want to stay updated on all future Fortnite news and drama. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.